ex rewrote our entire history with his new fiancée, so I wrote his ending. I dated Jake for 3 years, and for 3 years he made me feel like I was never enough, but not in the obvious ways. He was too smart for that. It was the subtle stuff. How he'd laugh when I mispronounced a word at dinner, how he'd fix my outfit before we went out, how he'd tell his friends I was still figuring things out when I talked about my computer science degree. Somehow, I was always the one who needed improvement. The gaslighting started small. I'd catch him texting late at night with his screen tilted away. He'd say, "Just work stuff, babe. You're being paranoid again. Found a receipt for a restaurant I'd never been to. Client lunch. Do I need to report every meal to you?" By year 2, I'd stopped asking questions and started thinking maybe I was crazy. Maybe I was too clingy. He had me trained like a circus seal. Doubt yourself. Never him. Then the breakup came out of nowhere. Tuesday night, I'm planning our anniversary dinner, and by Wednesday morning, he's packing his Xbox saying we've grown apart, that I'm too intense. He wasted no time after that, because by Thursday, his relationship status changes. In a relationship with Ashley Morrison, the same Ashley who'd been liking all his posts for months, the client he had all those lunches with. I spent a week locked in my bedroom crying, feeling as worthless as he'd trained me to feel, and then 2 weeks later, they're engaged. His mom posted the announcement gushing about how some people just know. The ring was huge and the photos were professional. They looked so happy it made me physically sick. But here's what really got me. He started posting at all our spots. The coffee shop where we had our first date, there's Jake and Ashley in the same corner booth. The hiking trail where he first said I love you, new profile pic of them at the summit, my favorite Italian place, introducing my fiancé to the best carbonara in the city. Then I saw it. He posted a photo of Ashley wearing my grandmother's vintage band t-shirt, the one I'd left at his place, the one I'd worn to every exam for good luck. The caption read, "She looks best in vintage." That shirt still had the tiny bleach stain from when we dyed his hair at 2 a.m. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's when I stopped crying and started planning. Jake might have been good at manipulation, but he was terrible at technology. We'd shared everything, from passwords, accounts, emails, and he never changed them. Not a single one. So that night I logged into his email just to look, just to understand what she had, and I didn't. And what I found made my stomach turn. Emails to Ashley dating back 2 years, screenshots of my texts where he'd mock my neediness to her, private photos I'd sent him, forwarded to his buddy group chat with comments that made me want to shower in bleach. And the cherry on top, messages about his weekend bachelor party where he was arranging hookups because last chance before the ball and chain. After that, I spent a month building my evidence folder. Every email, every message, every photo he'd shared without my consent. I documented the timeline, showing how he'd been with Ashley while telling me I was paranoid. Found messages where he called her insecure and boring to his friends while posting hashtag couple goals selfies. Even found him active on dating apps, using photos from their engagement shoot and her cropped out. I took my time, organized everything chronologically, and made sure every screenshot was crystal clear. The week before their wedding, I finished my masterpiece, a comprehensive Facebook post, not from my account, but from his. I'd waited for the perfect moment, 11 p.m. on a Thursday, when he'd be passed out after his weekly poker night with the boys. First, I changed his email password and recovery phone to lock him out completely. Then I crafted the post. Started with, "I have a confession to make," then laid it all out. The cheating timeline with receipts, screenshots of him sharing intimate photos, heavily blurred but with visible tattoos, birthmarks, and backgrounds that made it obvious who they were. His message about Ashley, butterface, but the body makes up for it. His dating profile's active while cropping his fiancée out of the pictures. The private photos of me he distributed, with mostly everything blurred, but the violation clear. Messages arranging his bachelor party hookups. His commentary about every woman in his life, including calling his sister. The practice round before real women. And his mom, past her expiration date. And I tagged everyone. Ashley, both sets of parents, his boss, her entire bridal party. Set to public, hit post. Then I sat back and watched the show. Ashley commented first with just a bunch of question marks. Then came the calls. I could see him active on Messenger frantically trying to explain. Her mom commented, "Take this down immediately." His mom, "This must be a hack." But the evidence was too detailed and too specific. His friends started recognizing their own conversations. Ashley's friends recognized her despite the blur, that butterfly tattoo, that bedroom with the fairy lights. By morning, the post had 847 reactions, 234 comments, and had been shared 45 times before Facebook finally took it down. The wedding was off within 48 hours. Jake lost his job at Daddy's dealership because it turns out sharing exposed photos of customers, I included some of them too, is bad for business. Ashley moved back to Michigan. Last I heard, he was living in his mom's basement threatening to sue his hacker while still locked out of all his accounts. But I'm doing great. Sometimes the best revenge isn't making someone hurt, it's letting everyone see exactly who they really are.